Welcome to Big Topics in the Kitchen, episode 5. Today we have a guest, Gabriel, Keira's little brother, and we're going to talk about how they interact with each other and how they feel when each other does certain things, because Keira, with her anxiety and social difficulties, she really likes to be alone sometimes, and she needs alone time. Gabriel needs to spend time with people to feel like they care about him, so they clash a little bit because they have different needs. While we talk, we're going to make some pizzadillas today, and going to let them...
I call them
Pizzadillas?
Yeah.
The rule, you two, for this conversation, you're not going to interrupt each other, okay? You're going to listen to each other's answers and be kind, okay? All right. So Gabriel. No, you're going to go first. Look at Mommy. I want you to tell me some of the things that frustrate you with Sissy when you want to hang out with her, both when you're actually playing together and then when she leaves and wants to be left alone. What are some things that frustrate you?
When she goes to her room and doesn't want to play with us.
Okay, what about when she is playing with you? What are some things that frustrate you?
She doesn't let us what we want to do.
So, you feel like she tries to control what you're doing? So, Keira, what are some things that... Stop. What are some things that frustrate you about Gabriel when you guys are playing together?
When we play, if we play with dinosaurs or something, he'll always act like the dinosaur's hitting, and he'll hit my hand, which really hurts. I try telling him to stop, and most of the time he just doesn't. So then I kind of just bail out or try to change up the game a little bit, because I don't want to get hit in the hand by a pointy dinosaur. And he just does a lot of crazy things that make me uncomfortable in games.
So, you understand his frustrations, though?
Mom, I want to get stuck. I am, but I just want to get stuck.
I'll get one.
I get hit by a dinosaur from a dinosaur. Very true.
So, you understand how he feels like you're trying to control a situation? Do you know how that can be frustrating?
Yeah, but it's also frustrating the way he likes to play.
No, that wasn't my question. I asked if you understood his frustration. Do you understand Sissy's frustration? Yeah. So what are some things... Why do you think that frustrates Sissy?
Because I'm not being very, very nice.
Okay.
But I'm not trying to.
I know you're not trying to. All right, well, we finished our pizzadillas. I had to break the video because of the other children in the house needing some assistance with life. But to remind these two what we were talking about, because it's been a while actually since we recorded that, we were talking about how you guys both react with each other, right? So Gabriel doesn't like when Keira needs alone time or when they are playing and she just gets up and walks away and he doesn't always understand why. And Keira doesn't like that Gabriel plays so aggressively and hyperly. And sometimes he'll hit her and sometimes he'll not mean to, or he'll not realize that it hurts and he's just playing too rough. So, and then she also doesn't like that he comes and bothers her when she goes alone for her alone time. So, what I was going to ask Gabriel next was, he said that he thinks it makes Keira feel sad when he is mean to her when they're playing. So what are some things that you can do better to make Sissy not want to go away from you when you're playing?
Ask her nicely, can you still please play with us?
Before that, though, when you're playing with Sissy already and she's not frustrated with you, What can you work on doing? How should you play? Should you hit?
Nicely.
Yeah, you should play nicely.
Nicely.
Hit nicely.
No.
Like what?
You should play nicely, right? And when she goes away, how should you ask her to play?
Usually I do go back and play when I get a break.
Okay. So, how should you ask Cece to play with you? Because what do you normally do?
Ask her nicely.
No, what do you normally do?
Demand her.
Yeah. How should you ask?
Nicely.
And how would you do that?
Asking if she can please play with us.
Okay. And what does Cece normally say?
Not right now.
Why?
Because she doesn't want to play right now.
Give me time. So what should you do if she says, not right now, give me some time?
Leave her alone until she's out of her room.
Yeah. Keira, what are some things you could do better? Because when Gabriel says, I want you to play with me, what do you normally do?
That was one video, you know that, right?
I know. What do you normally do?
Tell him to get out of the room.
How do you do that?
Pretty sure it's
You need to talk loudly enough that.
get out of my room.
Like, scream at him, right? How could you better handle that when he...
Just try to keep myself a little bit calmer.
And what statements could you use?
May you please get out of my room while I recuperate myself?
Okay, and you can use an I statement, like, I felt really upset when you did that. I need some space. Please leave me alone for a little bit, right? Okay. So, Gabriel, what would you tell people who have siblings who maybe need more space? What are some things that they could do to help have better relationships with their siblings?
You can go to one of your siblings' room and play with them. If you ask nicely.
Yeah, and if they don't want to play with you, what should you do?
Get out of their room and go to a different sibling.
No, go to a different sibling if you have a different sibling. Keira, as on your end of things, like what advice would you give people for dealing with their siblings when you have anxiety and your sibling doesn't?
To give them some space. Like, try to reduce the amount of knocking on the door of the kids.
Not what you want the other kid to do. What can you do to make a better relationship with Gabriel? Like, what advice would you give people who have anxiety about having how to deal with their siblings?
I didn't think about that question. Maybe just to try to handle the craziness, because I know a lot of siblings have a lot of craziness.
Be more patient?
Yes.
Okay. Try to be more patient. So that's all we wanted to talk about today, just kind of how their relationship works and specifically in regards to how they play together. And they clearly love each other and are your normal siblings, but a little bit of extra tension because of some of the anxiety and hyperness. So we hope that maybe helped you siblings out, and we will see you next time.
Hi. Bye.